amazing.
So Corey, I've watched your music video and I loved it.
Thank you.
I actually hadn't heard the song before, so I was curious as to why you picked the song. I had felt like it was quite cozy and like feel good. I wondered if that's what it felt like to you to begin with. Or...
The song came out in like 2022, I think. I first listened to it on the day it released because I'm a big fan of the artist.
Right.
And I've seen him in concert and I'm like a fangirl sort of thing. But like I knew that it wanted to sort of fit in with the theme that I wanted to do and talk about sort of smoking and I guess not technically the dangers of it, but like the socialism of it. Because I'm not like keen on smoking and stuff, as you saw in the video.
Yeah.
I have like the whole endorsement thing at the start. But I enjoy the sort of fact that people can use it as a way to socialise and chat about problems. And
I think that came across in it.
Cool.
I wonder then, did you sort of come up with the storyline before picking the music, or did the music sort of inspire the storyline? Which came first?
It was a bit half and half.
Yeah.
Because I knew I wanted to do some sort of like party,
yeah,
like a house party sort of thing, but I didn't know what sort I wanted to base it off of. And then I was just like, I made a playlist for like party music, and I just went through that and I was like, which one would I think would like be best to do a video for? And I was like, that one tells a story in the song, and it kind of fits the themes I wanted to go with anyway. So I kind of just went from there.
Yeah, I think that's why it's good, because it's got such a story to it. And I think you've done really well at sort of connecting, like it mentions a guitar in the lyrics and you've got a guitar in the film, and it mentions smoking obviously, and it mentions like a fire. So I think you've done very well at that.
Thank you very much.
I also, what struck me were the colours. I think we spoke about this, the colours that you used. It's almost like a monochromatic sort of feel to it. I wonder why you chose that.
Well, I know I wanted it to be sort of like autumny, even though we filmed it in the winter. I wanted it to be sort of like. Also, I think that's when the cozy vibes are the most there.
Yeah.
Because I know like winter's got Christmas and stuff, but I think there's something about autumn, like it being everything's quite orange and like orange is one of my favourite colours. I've been told by a few people that like they associate me with the colour orange and stuff. I just like the sort of like warmth of it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I thought.
Lent to the storyline.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go again?
No, I can say something. So I watched the video this morning, and I really I like rewatched it because I watched it when you sent me the link. Well, I sent you a follow request, but and I really liked the fact that it's so sort of, I wouldn't say nuanced, but a little bit niche in the fact that when you watch a dance piece, it's always to a bit of music rather than wind noises and just someone talking. And it was clever, the fact that everything you're doing linked with what you're saying in the monologue. So I was curious about the fact that what made you want to do it to a monologue rather than just a song?
I think I do a lot of dances just to songs, and whilst I really enjoy doing that, it probably doesn't challenge me as much now as it maybe used to, because it's very much my comfort zone. So I think I was really interested in mixing sort of different mediums almost. So I had to write a monologue, which I don't have as much experience in. So I had to write a monologue, and thank you. And then I obviously had to create the dance over the top. So I think it was a really good learning curve for me to sort of, almost like you did with the lyrics in the video, but almost to link movement to almost like poetry, which I actually really enjoyed.
Yeah, well, it definitely shone through, and
thank you.
It was interesting for me because I noticed that in your research notes that you talked about the ghost dances.
Yeah.
And I remember studying that in GCSEs.
Yeah.
And we had to like do like a whole dance based off of that, and there were definitely lots of hints of that in there.
Yeah.
Just the way it was very flowy, and it felt almost like you weren't human in a way.
Yeah, I took a lot of inspiration from lots of different rumba, actually. I took a lot from Swan Song as well, and I don't know if you know, it's got like wind in that almost as well in the background. So yeah, I was a bit stuck. I found it quite challenging to find a piece of music that was like 7.5 minutes long that and I didn't want to just pick the music because it was 7.5 minutes long. I wanted to actually pick it because I actually felt like it worked. So yeah, I went for the wind, and I think it helped to create a journey maybe more so than just one piece of music throughout. Yeah.
But then obviously after sort of monologue ended, you then added music into it.
Yeah.
And I was curious as to why you thought, okay, now is like the perfect time to add music into
Yeah. I always wanted a moment where it almost everything went still and then the music hit in, and I wanted that to be like a real like moment. Yeah, so I tried a few different places in the monologue, and yeah, that worked partly because it was really hard to time it so that it all fitted.
Yeah.
So yeah, it fitted there nicely, and yeah, and I was happy with the way that I was then on the floor, and then yeah, it all kind of tied together.
Yeah. And obviously they say like write what you know, and obviously it seemed quite like a personal monologue. And I was curious if like you found it challenging to write, or if it was like it always like flowed naturally, or
Yeah, I think I had mixed emotions going into it, but I actually found it quite easy to write. I thought it would be much easier to do it almost through like extended metaphors the whole way through. So I use a lot of like imagery about like a rock, and like almost quite gruesome imagery, so I just listed almost metaphors and similes and just kind of put them together. But and that worked quite well. So I found the writing quite easy, but then I think the dance I probably found harder actually, which surprises me. I think because it's so long that I had to like almost use my imagination much more than normal because I'd run out of ways to move my body. Yeah, I had to do it in shorter chunks as well, I think, because it's quite emotionally draining. So so I think it was quite a good learning curve in knowing when and how to rehearse as well.
Do you think there'd be anything you'd sort of change in your dance? Like if you could go back and do it again?
I think certainly before our live performance, before I do it again, I want to look more at the dynamics of the dance. I think looking back at the video, I'm quite critical of myself, but I can see moments that I'd maybe apply sharper dynamics or whatever. So I'm going to go back and look over that. I'm curious about your process. Was there any moment that you found challenging?
My main challenge was daylight, in that we started filming at 4:30 because that's when it got dark, and it was the fact that everything went so quickly.
Yeah.
That I was like, I'm now worried about the fact that I have nothing. Like I've done everything I need to do in such a short space of time that I don't have enough.
Yeah.
And then it was like trying to just find things to fill without it like losing the sort of sense of the plot. And then we ended up having to do an extra day of filming with just me and Imi, which then we had to wait like the entire day for. But then we had some time complications where Imi had other like pre-booked plans. So I was like, we have to do this now, otherwise we're not going to have a chance to. So yeah, it was like just a bit of time crunching and making sure everything fit within the time frame that we had.
So I'm curious how much of like the shots you'd thought of before and thought, I want the camera to be there and I want them to be doing that, and how much was on the day, and how much maybe were there any that like your actors sort of, how did that work? Was it sort of improvised a bit?
A little bit. There were like the sort of the key shots.
Yeah.
Like the opening shot with me.
Just start when you're ready.
Technical difficulties. My phone ran out of storage. So yeah, we're talking about key shots. Like I knew which ones I wanted to have. I'd written that down in a notebook, which had all my video ideas, like props,
amazing,
costumes, stuff like that, just to make sure that I had a clear vision of what I wanted everyone to have and wear and stuff. And I knew that I needed certain bits that I couldn't think of on the time until afterwards. I knew I needed filler shots. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So it's a bit of, I did ask the actors, I was like, do you have any ideas? Just out of curiosity, because I always think it's good to take on board what people want. and what they think would look good. And then a lot of them, there's a bit like slow motion and everyone's jumping up and down. That was fully.
I love it.
I think it was Zuja's idea from the first year. And then it's just other bits were just completely involved. I was like, I quite like this one. There's a shot where it comes down from the sort of like roof and then it comes down. I was just like,
how did you do that? Because I was trying to work out how.
There was a
drone or?
A very long tripod. I had to like slowly bend down as I was bringing it down.
It looked really effective.
Thank you. Winging it. But yeah, no, it's just basically going on and winging a prayer, I guess. And just hoping
it worked.
Yeah.
You mentioned a props list and a costumes list. How much was it just come wearing what you feel would be right for it, and how much did you sort of have a say in it?
Well, I said I wanted to make sure that everyone was wearing like warm clothes, stuff that would give off warm temps, and like I guess like, the cozy vibes that you were talking about. But I knew that I wanted, specifically for Imi, I knew that I needed her to wear something that was almost like contrasting to mine. So she was wearing red and I was wearing blue and black.
Oh, I like.
And I was like, I want to make sure there's like some sort of contrast, but like it's like opposites attract sort of thing. And I prepped my outfit a while ago because I knew that was what I was going to wear, no matter what the song was or anything like that. And yeah, it was just a bit of. And I just said to people like, wear what you feel comfortable in and what might make you feel most confident. But as long as it keeps you in the sort of like the colour register of what I was going for.
Nice. I was looking at the actors that you had in it as well. I know that it was very much if you'd like to help, sort of. Was there sort of a certain number of people that you wanted?
Well, I was only allowed 15 max at the venue, which was Ria's house. Yeah. Due to her parents being like, they didn't want to say nothing. And I had to make sure I cleaned up everything before I left. So it was a case of people who responded to my team's message were then added to a group chat. And then we went from there, and then I then sent days of availability and stuff like that, and then it was just a case of people who couldn't come.
Almost a process in itself,
Yeah, but I'm very grateful with the people I had, and it was very hard. So.
I wonder why you cast yourself in it as well, because I feel like that was a decision in itself, which I liked the decision, but I wonder what the thought process was behind that.
The thought process was, I knew I wanted, because I'm a big, like screen acting is my sort of like where I want to go. I knew that this would be a good way that I can sort of show off two skills in one. Yeah. And the fact that I can be in it, but also direct it and sort of like manage the both of them without like it becoming like too overrunning and stuff like that. If anything, if I could go back and change anything, I'd probably put myself in it more, only because of the fact that I sort of realised that I'm not in it as much as I probably should have been, so that the story wasn't as clear as I hoped it would be.
I thought it was very clear.
Thank you. But yeah, it was a difficult one because I had a feeling that people might be like, it's quite narcissistic and stuff like that, but I knew what I wanted to do, and without it seeming like I was trying to like be a bit big-headed and.
That you had a vision.
Yeah, I had a vision. And I knew that I needed, or not needed, but wanted to be in it. And I can't.
I think it worked. Yeah.
Thank you.
I wonder. You asked me what I would do if I were to do it again. Yeah. Is there anything that sticks out for you? Sort of, if you could refilm, or anything in the process that might have made it easier.
Maybe sort out my hair, because my hair was crazy. Especially there's a final shot, and I was like, what have I done? But no, I think in all seriousness, I would probably go back and film the sort of final bits a bit later in the day if I could. But obviously, due to the fact that prior engagements and stuff like that, it was a little bit difficult. So I had to make do with what I had. But if I had like an unlimited budget and unlimited time, then I would do it later in the day, I think.
Amazing. Yeah.
I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Is there a favourite part of your dance?
Oh, that's a good question. I like the moment where it goes quiet and almost then the music kicks in. I feel like as even performing it, I sort of feel that. So I like that particular moment. I also like at the start, I like the isolation movements I do. I think that they're quite effective. That's quite inspired by Rumba. So I think if I were to do it again, I'd incorporate more isolation movements as well. Thank you for talking.
No worries, thank you very much.
Nice chat.